How do people get my book? I would be remiss, I tell you, if I didn't talk about this. How the heck do I get the book in people's hands? There's three ways that you can get your book independently published into people's hands. Number one is from you. I have a website at damonbrown.net. In fact, let me go ahead and we're going to do it live. damonbrown.net. And it should show up in a second. There we go. And I'll show y'all literally what it looks like. There we go. Dan Brown, consultant, speaker, and author. You see my big head there. All right. Pre-order a new book, The Complete Bring Your Worth Collection. Pre-order now, which links to Amazon, bookshop.org, etc., and get signed copies below. So let's go below. Sorry for making you guys dizzy, but I want to be thoughtful about the time. See my coaching practice, and boom, there it is. So if you want a signed copy, this is not a plug. I'm just trying to show you all what it is. If you want a signed copy of this book that I got in my hand, The Complete Bring Your Worth Collection, I actually have already pre-ordered copies, have them here in my magical office, and then you can go ahead and there's Stephen Pressfield. Again, love you, Stephen. And then it ships in October next month. You can buy the copies from me, get them signed, I'll ship them to you. I buy those copies. I buy those copies from Ingram Spark or whatever I get the printing from. You're like, oh, okay, Damon, your copy, if you want to buy a printed copy from us, maybe it'll cost $5, maybe it'll cost $10, depending on the quality of the book and how long the book is and all that. My cover price for the book is $40 because it's a compilation of all the books I've done, almost all the books I've done over the past 7 years. So $40 is fair. It's a big compilation. It's like 70,000 words or something. Speaking of words, might even be more than that, more like 90. My whole point is that gap, because I had the book printed and I'm selling the book myself, ends up being the profit. So if you buy the book from me, I sign it, even with shipping and handling, ends up being a lot more profitable for me. So that's one option. Even when I do keynotes and things like that, people, they call it back of the room sales because the books are usually in the back of the room, virtually or otherwise. Someone buys a copy after I do the Q&A, after my speaking engagement, they give me the money, I give them the book. I pay the printer for the book, then I get paid when I sell the book to whoever the person is, the person who's buying the book. That's how it works. So the first option is, we call it hand to hand. Here you go, take my book. Dude, realize how giant it was. Here it is, take my book, here you go. You can take it, thank you, right? So from you. The second option, excuse me, the second option is from a bookstore, as in a physical bookstore. And believe it or not, we're not just casinos. Vegas actually has a lot of bookstores. And so you go to a Barnes & Noble or even to some of the smaller bookstores or cafes around here, and the book is there. Again, Ingram can help with that distribution, so check them out. That's why I talk about them so highly. So the first option is from you, hand to hand. The second option is from a bookstore. And the third option, as you can probably guess, is online. That's when you have the bookshop.org. That's when you have the Amazons and so forth. So there are three ways people can get your books. As you go through each way, you're actually making less and less money. So if I'm physically giving you a copy of the book and I got it straight from the printer, then I'm making a decent profit. If it's going through a bookstore, the bookstore needs to make their money. And usually your profit, even as an independent author, will be less than 50%. If you're doing it that original way, as far as the hand-to-hand, you can get more than 50% depending on the setup. And lastly, with Amazon and bookshop.org and a lot of those online distributors and retailers take a pretty big chunk. And so your piece might be 10% or 20%, depending on how you have it set up and the platform. Those are the three ways you can do that. When it comes to you actually connecting with people, one thing I'd be, again, remiss to not talk about is that getting press, getting attention for your book, as a journalist and also as doing the rounds as a public speaker and getting interviewed quite a bit, I've seen it from both sides. As a professional on both sides, press is only going to get you so far. So you don't have to worry about getting a write-up in the New York Times or the New Yorker or the Los Angeles Times and all that. Most of my books have not gotten those kind of write-ups. But if you're able to connect with a community that needs to hear it the most, that's what matters. When I've had a column with Inc. Magazine, that's been such a wonderful platform. I appreciate Inc. Magazine for all they've done for and supporting me. That's worked out really well because my books are about entrepreneurship and business and burnout and trying to find balance. And it works with Inc. Magazine. So it's not a matter of trying to get press from everybody. It's matter of getting the right press. And then that allows you to connect with the right people. This episode is one of my favorites when it comes to just demystifying a myth. Again, I've been on both sides as a journalist and as someone who's been interviewed a lot. The press will only help you so much. So stop worrying about chasing press and getting the ink, as they used to say. Worry more about connecting with the audience that's supposed to be having your book. Listen, we've covered a ton today. It's one of my longest lives I've done in a while. I hope it helps you get to the next level. And I look forward to seeing your book someday, whether you do it through a traditional publisher. That might take a little while, but it's definitely a great journey. Whether you work with a hybrid like Greenleaf, again, the links are below. Shout out to Tanya and other folks over there. Or if you go more my route, you go independent, you lean on an Ingram Spark, and you go and you get a good cover designer and a good editor to help you get to the next level. One bonus suggestion, which I forgot to mention in all the discussion, is Big Magic. It talks about creativity. It talks about getting butt in seat. It's a nice complimentary, if you're paying attention, you know what I'm talking about, complimentary book along with The War of Art. Shout out to Elizabeth Gilbert, one of my favorite authors, just based on this book alone. If you feel like you need to get inspiration as you try to figure out what your book is going to be, this is also a great place to start.